to see if someone's in the hall.
And we are naked! Welcome peeps! What's going on, dudes? My name is Rex and we're back with some more Dragon Age. In the last episode, well, we finished up everything that we wanted to do here in Castle Cousland, and now it seems like something is going terribly wrong. Soldiers are attacking us in the middle of the night. Strange noises outside, guys. This cannot be possibly good. You can just go ahead and use your inventory to equip your items. You got your lesser health poultice here, and we get a small grease trap, the first trap we can get in the game. When triggered, this trap releases a small grease slick that slows down the opponent and any creatures who enter the area and causes them to fall unless they pass a physical resistance check. One of those things I was telling you guys before, it's one of those things why strength and constitution is really useful. It gives you physical resistance checks, and it allows you to survive things like this. It also comes from like items. You're gonna find some armors that are gonna give you this, but regardless, we don't have to worry about that now. Anyways, oh my, I literally just stepped on Iona. I'm such an asshole. We're finally getting some actual combat in this game, guys. I know that you've all been kind of waiting for this. I've been waiting for this, so I can't even imagine you guys. But we're fighting some Howe archers. How can we even tell they're Howe well, henchmen? Well, it's because they're supposed to have the insignia of Howe's family in their shields. It's probably a developer oversight that you don't see the insignia of Howe's in there. It's a bear. They had it in the very beginning, in the first cinematic of the game. You could see it, but I guess they kind of left it out of this one. But I think you can see it on this guy. I think you guys saw it, right? There you go. It's like a bear. Hold on. Jeez, okay, it's very awkward. You guys can see it there, eh? It's like a bear. It's pretty adorable, to be honest. Arl Howe is the Arl of Amaranthine, so that should be the insignia of that. Amaranthine, I guess I don't know if I can show you the map. No, I haven't really been out yet. Anyways.
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
No, I'm good, but what's going on?
A scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Howe's men. Why would they attack us?
He must have betrayed father. He attacks while the troops are gone.
You don't think Howe's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed.
No, I haven't seen him.
We must find him.
We should, but maybe you should stay here. I'm worried about you.
I most certainly will not. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
Give me a sword and I'll use it. She means that quite literally, since she will start with no weapons. It's very hard to miss. If you guys remember in the first episode, we actually got a mace, so might as well give it to her. On the other hand, if you didn't get the mace, you can always do this.
Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
In that trunk? Let's go ahead and steal my father's belongings. You get a great sword and a dagger and a shield. It's actually kind of useful to give your mother that. Wait, what the hell? No, why am I using Doc here? Jeez. Let's go ahead and give her the shield. It's pretty useful. There you go. Fantastic. And this, go ahead and open it. Fantastic. So, as I was saying, Arl Howe is supposed to be the Arl of Amaranthine, which is like another city on the north section of Ferelden. Whenever I get out and I actually get usage of the map, I'll be able to show them to you guys. But before we get to that, there's something that I want to say. I actually feel pretty shitty about this. On the last episode, I said that the highest noble in the game is the king, obviously, which is true. I did say, however, that the king was King Marek, and that is not technically true. The king that's currently residing in Ferelden is called King Cailan. Marek was actually his father. King Marek was the one that pushed out the Orlesians from Ferelden, thanks to, well, or also with the help of, well, I guess it doesn't matter. You know, it's really not out there. The thing is, Marek is supposed to be the father of Cailan, which is the current king. I apologize for that. Some of you guys corrected me yesterday, and I appreciate it. It's always nice when you guys let me know whenever I made a mistake. And I'm really sorry. I actually legitimately feel bad. But we are gonna feel even worse after this.
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents?
Why would they do this?
Howe is not even taking hostages. He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor Fergus. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
Fergus is going to be so pissed. It's the worst. Oh, new screenshot. You guys noticed that? I don't know if you guys have been paying too much attention, but you get a screenshot whenever something either cool happens or a very interesting part of the story shows. You get a screenshot. I really like it. The game just automatically do that for you. It's great because, especially for the interludes of these episodes, I've been putting pictures in them. I think you guys are liking that. I'm using a lot of the pictures that I get from the game, and I think they're fantastic.
Now let's see.
Anyways, guys, we get some more fighting. As you can see, their names are white. What does that mean? This means that these are normal enemies. Normal enemies tend to be, like, if they were to fight you on a one-on-one scenario, you would probably be able to fight, I would say, oh, you go, girl. They'll be able to fight about 2 of them for every one of your characters. I think that's about right. They would need at least 3 of them to be able to be a challenge to you, which is usually how I define kind of the ranks in this game. Something like a lieutenant, for example, you would need 2 of you to be able to fight one of them. But at least for this, guys, we should have a really easy time. There's nothing here. Oh, there's a chest. Cool. Fantastic. Anyways, we'll cover more of them as we move along, because there's going to be a lot of fighting. But before that...
Oh, dear Landra. I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here...
Very sad indeed. The only reason she was here is because she was taking my mother to her own... town, just so that, you know, they could be together through the war, but sadly she was here when this all happened, so she ended up dying. Very, very sad. What's even more sad is the fact that we haven't leveled. We've been going through this entire section without leveling up, so this is actually the first level we have done through the whole game, so I'm kind of excited about this. Finally I get to show you some of the skills, which is fantastic. Every level you get 3 attributes that you can then spend. I want to do 12 strength, just for armor purposes, and we can just spend the rest in dexterity for weapon purposes. Pretty nice. These are specializations. I probably should just wait before I even talk about them, but this is the main way in which you kind of set your character apart from others. It's what would define my rogue with, like, other people's rogues, for example. It can be an assassin, bard, ranger, and duelist. The warrior has different specializations as much as a mage has different specializations. We'll cover those as we move along. Doesn't matter. Oh, and we get the first specialization point at level, I believe it's 7, so as soon as we reach 7, we'll be able to choose one of them. But for now, we don't have to worry about it. Anyways, coercion, of course, because I want to be able to persuade people as much as possible. It's pretty clear stuff. And skills. I couldn't do this in the first episode since the video was really, it was going to take too long. The video was already pretty long, so I figure I can probably do it here. The one thing that I guess I want to let you guys know is that I'm focusing a lot on lethality. This is probably the one skill that I want to get as soon as possible. So, the rogue has a keen eye for weak spots and thus gains a bonus to critical chance for all attacks, which is pretty good, but more importantly, if the rogue's cunning score is greater than strength, sharpness of mind lets the character use the cunning modifier to affect attack damage in place of the strength modifier. If you guys remember, I told you guys that even rogue weapons actually use strength to base their damage off, so a dagger would use 50% strength and 50% dexterity. With this, instead of just in strength, it would use conning, so dexterity and conning. It's really useful since conning usually is higher than strength for rogue characters, so it just increases your damage by a lot, so I love it. I love it so much. See, I don't want to get into every specific kind of skill. I guess I just want to touch on some of the basic ones that I'm actually really interested in. We're going to focus a lot on the deft hand tree, because I want to be able to lockpick everything that I can. There is combat movement, which allows you to have an easier time backstabbing people. I'm going to get us to backstabs in a little bit on the next battle. But the game can be pretty anal, which, the exact, I'm sorry for the word, but you have to be, like, on the exact kind of back of the character to be able to do a backstab, and this kind of makes it easier on you. The skills are not really that important. I'm not going to use stealth in this character, because it'll slow down the game consistently. I'll show you guys dual weapon sweep in a second, and I guess not much that I want to talk about just yet for now. I'll use below the belt, because I want to get lethality as soon as possible, although I'm going to need a lot of levels for that first. Anyways, below the belt, what does it do? Below the belt is just an attack that lowers the speed of opponents by 50% and also reduces their defense by 10, which means that an enemy that has their defense reduced have a harder time evading your attacks, which is really useful. Now, for the dog. This guy is just a lovely creature of heaven for leveling, because it is really easy. All you have to do is level strength. That's what I do. I'm sure that a lot of people have different ways of leveling it up, but look, guys. Honestly, strength and constitution is all you need. Strength increases the damage he does, and also increases his likeliness of actually hitting he's a Curzi. So, honestly, in terms of offensiveness, strength is all you need. And Constitution if you're playing on the harder difficulties and you want him to kind of survive longer. Willpower, I guess, is okay if you want him to get more stamina, but it's really not necessary at all. I find that just, like, buffing strength like crazy and leaving Constitution to at least, like, 25 or so tends to work very well. He's one of those characters that are freaking amazing for people that don't really want to worry too much about the strategic aspect of this game and just want to have a normal action-packed RPG. Doug is probably one of your characters. We'll get more characters that are kind of like that as well. I'll let you guys know when we do. Anyways. Dragon Age! Dragon Age.
Can you hear the fighting? Howe's men must be everywhere.
Yeah, what should we do?
The front gates. That's where your father must be.
Is there anything else we can do?
I have my treasury key. We could go there first and take the Cousland sword from the vault. If anything is worth fighting to keep out of Howe's hands, it's that sword. But it may be a dangerous path.
No, we can do it, we can do it.
If Howe's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me?
I hear you, but I am gonna kill Howe, dude. I swear to God.
Then survive and visit vengeance upon him.
Sounds fantastic. We get a new quest at Cousland Treasury, guys. This quest is very, very easy to miss. Let's go ahead and check it out. Your mother has given you the key to the treasury. You might be able to find some weapons there to help you against Arl Howe. This is very easy to miss. What you have to do is you have to talk to her and ask her if there is anything that we can do. After she responds, you have to ask her again, is there anything else that we can do? That's the only way to get the quest, guys. Very important. Do not miss on that. It's a pretty cool sword.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here!
This guy has a very funny voice, but this is the first persuasion check you get. As you guys can see, if you have coercion levels, then you get this new option. Persuade. Don't be a coward. Stand and fight.
Yes, my lord! Here they come!
That's how all persuasions are gonna be in this game. As long as you have the coercion level, it doesn't matter what level you have, you're gonna have the option to try and persuade people. If you don't have enough cunning, or if your coercion level is not high enough, then the persuasion will fail, and he'll be like, I'm not gonna listen to you, and then he just, then he's just not gonna, well, do whatever you want him to do. You can always try, but sometimes you have to be careful in failing persuasion checks, because bad things can happen to you if you fail them. That's all I'm gonna say for now. For this guy, if you persuade him, he's gonna follow you until the bitter end. You guys see that he's gonna help us fight. Not just that, but he will do it until he dies. Very useful. Usually he won't die if you're remotely good at this game. So we shouldn't worry too much about it. We're getting a lot of health poultices, which is fantastic. I guess I can talk a little bit about the loot system in this game. You guys can see that we got some lesser health poultices, which is fantastic. Normal enemies, like this ones, the ones with the white names, just normal enemies will, ooh. Who are we fighting now? Oh, those guys, man, they're really far away. Normal enemies will give you usually lesser health poultices, while lieutenants will usually give you normal health poultices, while bosses tend to give you greater health poultices. That's usually... You can kind of balance that out with other items as well, because it's about the same for, like, lyrium potions, with instead of healing you for health, heals you for mana. It's pretty much the same thing, so normal enemies will give you, like, lesser lyrium potions, while higher level enemies will give you... Let me go ahead and use this for my quick slot here, so that I can heal up. But yeah, anyways, it's the same thing. You know, you can kind of extrapolate that for other items. Oh, you see this animation? Fuck. I guess if you saw my animation, you saw that I was doing some backstabs, but I can... Jesus, I can show you better here. Let me just get out of this trap. God, jeez. God. So hardcore. No, okay, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Hold on, I want to backstab him. You see that animation? That's a special animation that you get for backstabs. Only rogues can backstab. It doesn't matter what weapon you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using your hands or you're using a longsword or whatever, you will backstab if you're behind them, which is kind of cool. Warriors can't do that, which is, I feel kind of special. Anyways, guys.
Aldous. You will be avenged, old sage. I swear it.
Poor, his mumbling didn't save him after all, which is kind of sad. Anyways, guys, we have more fighting to do. Let's go ahead and kill this guys here. I want to show you more backstab action, and also I could probably use my dual weapon sweep. Oh god, more of these. Dual weapon sweep is really good for AoEs. You guys can see that I'm gonna position myself here in between the two of them, and then I'm gonna do it. And then I'm going to do it. I need to speak slower, Jesus. Dual weapon sweep. It attacks everyone that is in front of you. It's pretty good. I don't think it's that good for like single for just like a single target kind of hit. I don't think it does the damage necessary for it to really matter, but for AoEs it is fantastic. As you guys can see, we're doing some backstabs. Backstabs are kind of like critical hits. You guys can see that the number just kind of highlights itself, which is pretty cool. It does work. Jesus, you go, girl. My mom is freaking crazy. It works very similarly to a critical hit, so you guys, I guess you can take it as that. But you're gonna find yourself in situations where critical hits tend to be better. Like if, for example, if you freeze a target, frozen solid, for example, a critical hit tends to shatter the frozen target, automatically killing him. So it's one of those situations where usually critical hits are better, but it depends mostly on your skills, because for the rogue we're gonna have advantages to our backstabs, for example, and I guess in those situations it really depends on the circumstance. Anyways, let's go ahead and kill some of these guys. Most of the time, Jesus, my mom is just in a wrecking ball, dude. Most of the time I'm gonna avoid, well, not really avoid fighting as much as I'll just like do it off camera, mostly because yeah, fight is, I don't want to say that they're monotone because they're actually pretty fun for me, but I feel like the videos will kind of get to be super long if I show every single battle. So for now I'll show them, since we haven't had a battle in the last 2 episodes, so I feel like you guys deserve it. You guys have been nice.
We're getting close to the treasury. The Cousland family blade lies inside. Use that key I gave you. That blade cannot fall into Howe's hands.
Man, this blade must be like super important to my mom. I don't really care, but actually, we might have to care. It's actually a pretty good weapon. I'm gonna grab it in a second. First, armor. Let's get some armor. Fantastic. Let's get some weapons. Cool, cool, cool. Now, the quest. Family chest. We got the family sword and shield of Ever. These are unique items. Can't get them anywhere else. These are, I guess it's an example of how unique items work in this game. You can only get them through either a certain NPC that drops them or through quests. There's just no other way for you to get this type of weapons. They're pretty good. I think this sword in specific is pretty fantastic, I guess. It's tier 2 for obviously the very beginning of the game. It's quite nice. It gives you attack, which is accuracy, and damage, which is, well, damage. It's pretty great. Now, as you guys can see, as a rogue, we can use swords. Says the restriction, warrior rogues. It doesn't matter what we are, we can use it. Pretty great. We also got a shield, but sadly we don't really have anyone that can use it, not even our mom. She doesn't have the required strength, which is kind of sad. You need 20. It's a lot of strength for this, but whatever. We can give her the, the scale armor just to make her happy. But that's it. That's the quest. We succeeded it. It's pretty easy to mess, and I guess it's mostly just for a warrior. If you're a warrior, then it's nice to have a long sword and a shield. Other than that, it's not necessary, but this is probably the best time to show you that. Let me go ahead and get behind this guy. Jesus, let me get behind him. There we go. You can do backstabs. I said that before, but I just wanted to show you guys it doesn't matter if you're using a dagger or using a longsword, you can still do backstabs. So there you go. Great. Now if I can just get out of here. Jesus. Go ahead and get some of these loot, and there you go. We have quite literally done everything there is to do with this damn castle. Jeez. So why don't we go ahead and see what Sir Gilmore is doing? A massive battle, of course, yes! This is the first massive Jesus battle you're gonna encounter. I suggest trying to fight the mage. I got stoned. Damn it. Dirty fighting is just not very nice. Done here for a while. I suggest fighting the mage first, and I suggest this for really most encounters. The mages tend to be the most hardcore. Jesus. That's why. They tend to be the most dangerous opponents you're gonna find. They can electrify you, they can do AoE, they can stun you, they can freeze you. There's a lot of shit they can do. This one specific has lightning attacks, lightning shock, and mind blast. So mostly just AoE stuff and stuns. Pretty much just what I said. This guy is just not being nice to me. Let's see how Sir Gilmore is doing. So this is some walkthroughs of this game. Some websites I've visited says that Gilmore can actually die in this encounter. I have done this section of the game probably like 6 or 7 times just in preparation of this whole series. I have never actually seen him die, although some publications do say that he can do it, which I found very interesting.
Go, man the gates. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Howe's men had gotten through.
No, we were pretty good. If he actually dies, however, this whole conversation just obviously doesn't exist, so you never really get to know that where your dad is going, which is pretty important. Did we get through, though?
They killed Oriana and Oren. I can't believe... Are you injured?
Don't worry about me, your ladyship. Thank the Maker you two are unharmed. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Howe's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
We need to find further. Actually, I want to ask about the Grey Wardens.
I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the Teyrn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Maker watch over you.
Maker, watch over us all.
So our father is going to exactly where we're going. The kitchen where the servants' entrance is located, which is fine. Again, as I said before, if he dies, then you don't get that conversation, which I think is kind of interesting, but I've never had that happen before. If it happened to you guys, let me know, because I'm actually pretty curious about this. I've also read that if you talk to him after you kill everything, and before he automatically talks to you on the cinematic, then you can actually bug him, and he never talks to you again on the cinematic, just kind of never happens. I find that thing kind of interesting, but anyways. Let's go ahead and... It automatically saves there, but... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now, this soldier, if you save him, one of the funniest things ever actually happens. And I definitely want to show them to you, so let's make sure that he survives. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know why I didn't use the shield of Howe's Arl on every single warrior, which is weird. Some of the characters have it and some others don't, which I think is kind of bizarre.
Where is the Teyrn? Does he live?
He's not gonna do it? Oh, come on. He always does it. Ah! I am so disappointed. He used to run towards the fire and disappeared like a majestic creature. My people need me, and then he just like jumps into the fire and disappears. I am so disappointed. But I guess this kind of works well with what I told you guys before. Whatever guard you save, just like the servant, will follow you until the bitter end. So it's kind of fantastic. It's also very good because of this. You're gonna be fighting your first lieutenant. You guys can see by the name. This guy hits really hard, by the way. You can see by the name that his name is Jello, which means that he's a lieutenant. He's stronger than everyone else. Lieutenants on a one-on-one scenario will usually be better than you, so you won't be able to defeat them unless you either have help or you heal, which is kind of hardcore. This guy's missing a lot, which is kind of helpful, but you can see that every single one of his bashes actually hurts about half of my HP. Ah! That hurts. Alright, let me just move along because this is getting a little obnoxious. Anyways, there you guys can see it. Lieutenants have better loot than normal enemies. I think that's pretty standard for most games. They usually tend to always drop something. It's very rare that you're going to fight a lieutenant that doesn't drop anything. This one has gold. And greater health poultices. Greater health poultices are usually only reserved for bosses. So, you know, he has a good drop after all. Fantastic. Good. This lieutenant specifically has a chance of dropping a really cool helmet. It's almost worthwhile to like reload your save, to like save right before this battle and then just reload over and over again until you get him to drop it. Like, it's that good. I'm not gonna do it because just for the sake of this let's play, like that would be kind of cheating, so I'm not gonna do it. But just letting you guys know that that's a possibility. Anyways, guys, let's see if our father is safe.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce!
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding!
Howe's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
Why is he doing this?
He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think.
That is not true. You'll be fine.
My boy. If only Will could make it so.
Once Howe's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Burgess. Tell him what has happened.
And take vengeance.
Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servants' passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the Teyrn is correct. Howe's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The Teyrn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My youngest son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Are you going to help us, Duncan?
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
Are you talking about me?
You fought your way to me through Howe's men. I think the Maker's intention is clear. I will take the Teyrn and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Howe. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
My duty is to take vengeance on Arl Howe.
We will inform the king, and he will punish Howe. I'm sorry, but a Grey Warden's duties take precedence even over vengeance.
Howe thinks he'll use the chaos to advance himself. Make him wrong, bub. See that justice is done. Our family always does our duty first. The Darkspawn must be defeated. You must go. For your own sake and for Ferelden's.
I will, Father. For you.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Howe's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
Mother, are you sure you want to do this?
My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm just so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.